Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It is wonderful to have you with us today. Um, we are doing something a little bit different. No political topics today, no controversial topics today. Arts, crafts, and bugs. Getting ready for Halloween. Actually, this is very similar to what I did for Halloween last year. Kitty, the atheist, was supposed to be with us, and I do not know what happened to Kitty. I have not heard from Kitty. I certainly hope that Kitty is okay. So if anybody has any connection with Kitty, I would love to know that she's okay. And if Kitty can't make, that's absolutely fine. But I do wish her well. But with me also, I have Brainbug. Bree, how are you doing?
Oh, just doing great tonight. Been hanging out backstage talking to you. It's been fun.
I'm going to have to get a new picture of you. I don't know if you noticed, but the picture that I have in the thumbnail is old, and I didn't realize that you don't
Yeah,
look like that anymore.
right. Yeah, there's been some changes around here. Now,
Robin
yeah.
is in the chat. Hello, Robin. And Robin stars in some of the videos that I made for this show. Would you like to make your big announcement to Robin? Because Robin doesn't know, and Robin will be absolutely thrilled.
Oh, yes. So yeah, I've transitioned. I'm for now prefer to be called her, she. Though I will accept they, them, and I'm not going to bite anybody's head off if they still slip and call me he, him. But I can't. I got this going on, so hopefully I don't look too much like a he, him right now. Maybe just a little bit, but I'm working on that. But
You and Robin need to switch.
yeah,
Robin would love to trade voices with you.
that's one thing about me that was always that I always got called she, her. Like if someone was listening to me over the phone, and my job is on the phone. I spend my days talking to people on the phone all day, so I get her and she a lot. And I've always just rolled with it because I kind of liked it and it didn't hurt anything and less awkward conversation to say, no, I'm a he.
Mhm.
So it's yeah. Anyway, but she can have all the testosterone from me she wants. I'll just waft it to her
He,
direction.
him. Robin says, "Oh, nice, have fun. Was wondering since I remember you using other pronouns on Twitter."
Yeah.
And we have Jen with one N. Welcome, Jen.
Hi. I
How
hope
are
my
you doing today, Jen?
I'm doing okay. I'm tired. Having a day. It's tiring. PT beat
Well,
me up yesterday, man. Oh,
you said something about PT.
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you mostly. You're just a little bit soft, and I know you said something about you ran PT yesterday, or what did you
PT beat
say?
me up yesterday.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just
But you
tired.
got some cool crafts to show us today too, right?
So this
Yes.
is what I do late at night. So when everybody goes to bed, I'm crafting at the coffee table.
Well, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll let Jen go first. And Jen, what do you have for us as far as Halloween crafts go?
Well, all of my stuff comes from the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store or anything like that. Usually I buy pieces like this, just plywood. This I'm going to make for my daughter. And I usually add paint or flowers and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll put a magnet on the back. They can put it on their fridge, stuff like that. So I take the flower bouquet. They had a Halloween flower bouquet of black roses with like a purple or red. And I made this. I have a whole stack here. I made this for my daughter because she loves the sugar skulls. So this hangs
Ooh,
in her,
that's cool.
and you can see all the way down
Ooh,
here.
yeah.
There's that flower, and there's a skull that came on the bouquet. So and it's styrofoam, right? She just and on the back of the sugar skull, it's just plywood. It's so thin, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I
Now,
just
did you cut that design into the skull, or did the
no,
skull
it
come like
came,
that?
it came just like this, just like this,
Uh-huh.
and you just painted it. I have like a little slew of paints. This is
Uh-huh.
just acrylic paints I happen to have, and then some ribbon, and then a little tassel I made at the bottom, all like that. So that's one of the items.
Purple
So
is
I've been
here.
doing stuff
Hello,
like
Purple. And Ted Franks is here to do too. Hello, Ted Franks. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Ted. Hi, Purple.
I'm looking down my iPad's down here. I'm like, hi.
Yeah, I used to do that too. I don't know why StreamYard doesn't always give you the chat. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, and it's kind of weird.
So I'm making stuff like that, and calling them like a door hanger or something to put on your door or whatever. So I made a similar one for my sister, and they had a haunted house pre-cut thing. So I'm like, this one I'm keeping. Okay.
Oh, that's neat.
Ooh, I like
And
those lights.
they have the ribbon, or not the ribbon, the rope is from the dollar store. This is part of that bouquet. And then this skull came on the bouquet, and I just cut it to make the back flat so it's easier, right? And
Oh,
then,
neat.
yeah.
Those
So here's
smaller
this.
skulls are those light bulbs or?
Watch out.
Oh, that is so cool.
That
And
is
you
pretty
see
awesome.
the back is duct tape, let me tell you. This is what it looks like.
Okay.
And this is one
And
of the
then do you
battery
hang that
packs.
on a door?
Then I hang it on my front door because I have a porch so it won't get wet.
Uh-huh.
So that's where that's going this year. It's been
Okay,
hanging on my living
neat.
room wall. I finished it about a month ago, let me tell you. That's how far advanced I am. It's been sitting on my living room wall waiting for its home.
Well, according to Kitty, Halloween officially starts the 1st of September.
Yeah,
So you can put it up anytime.
true.
Ox has arrived. Welcome, Ox.
Hey, Ox. If you wait till October to start doing craft shopping, you're gonna run into more Christmas stuff
They're
in
a
the
little,
craft section than.
yeah, they're a little behind. And then I made Boo. Now this I
Oh,
wasn't.
that's cute.
It has a little thing down here. Okay,
Oh,
this
neat.
is like pressed particle board, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really thick and it's quite heavy. And this came from the Dollar Tree, and they had Boo and they had Eek, right? So I was like, I like Boo. Boo's cuter. So I just painted it. I put some ribbon here that I happen to have, and then this is a Christmas ornament that I painted with the colors of the Boo, and then
That's so cool.
it flashes. And this is from the
Dollar
Dollar
Tree.
Tree. Yeah. So
Wow.
then I'm going to put this on my back door probably,
Okay.
you know. So I've been doing stuff like that. So I'm keeping the Boo and the haunted house. Those are for me. I made similar ones for, like I said, my sister, my mother. I already gave them away, so I don't have anything else to show. And I've been doing another thing from the Dollar Tree. Oh, I left my skeleton on the front porch. I made a skeleton, but I put magnets on him because my front door is metal, so he's stuck to the front door. He's not going anymore. But they also had, you know, a die cut, looks like a wreath. And
Mm-hmm.
I just made this for my daughter. I had twine. This came with the skulls that are on my front door, which I'm sorry, I can't put it right now. But it came with like a skull, a pumpkin, and a skull in one string, and you could do with them what you want. And then I just painted this, and I just made a little tassel out of twine.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks kind of oh, and I added this here
Ah,
around.
nice frame. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks a
Is this
little
twine?
three-dimensional. It's just twine. It's just where you would buy from the hardware store. It's just twine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this, I thought this was super cute. And then see the black widows? I put a three-dimensional red dot on them.
Oh, uh-huh.
Mhm.
You like that?
I would
That's
not
so
have seen that
Dexterous.
if you hadn't put it right up to the camera.
Yeah.
It's
like
it's it's really
puffy,
hard to see from
puffy
that
paint.
distance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
puffy paint, right? And then I didn't realize that this framing around is actually a skull. If you look,
Oh.
I don't know
I
if
did
you
not realize that. That's pretty
see that's
cool.
a
Oh,
skull
neat.
right there.
Uh-huh.
And this one, I'll do it this way. This one is a bat.
Okay.
It's hard
I
to
can
tell.
see that.
And I was like, I didn't realize that was a face. You know? So then
Robert
there's,
X is here. Hello, Robert X.
oh, I'm looking down. All
Robert
right.
X
And
says, I can't stay long. It's already 2 a.m. and I need to get up at 5:30.
Aw.
Robert, you are so dedicated coming to see me so late at night, but do get some sleep and do take care of yourself because this will be available later.
Right.
yeah. Now this one, I already had the ribbon. The ribbon is just black and white ribbon I haven't had. And I tied this around my front gate.
Ooh, that's
That's
cool.
cool.
It's 2 pieces. You had to buy 1 and 1, right? So it cost me a whole $2.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the paint. And it's just, and then I just glued them together, and then I doubled it with some duct tape. And this just hangs. And I just put a clear coat on top, like a acrylic clear coat, so the paint won't run,
Mm-hmm.
because it is out in the weather, and it has been out in the weather for 2 weeks now. I put
Mm-hmm.
it over the front gate, and you know what? It's holding up pretty good.
Nice.
So I think something like this, with effort and detail, and it's a little bit 3-dimensional, I think it's more bang for your buck than what you would typically walk into the Dollar Tree and buy, which would be this. This is particle board. This costs $1. They had a whole bunch of them with like initials on them, so I got S because my last name begins with S. But I am going to doll it up somehow. I'm going to put some leaves on it. I may paint it somehow, add some leathering. I don't know. But this was $1, okay? But then if you think about it, this was $1, and I appreciate the aesthetic of this more than that. Do you know what I mean?
You could almost put all 3 of those together and make like a pumpkin-headed snowman.
Right? Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. And then there's a couple funny things. Oh, and I did make this. This is, I turned it into a little wall hanging.
Ooh, that's cute.
Just a pumpkin, but it's 3-dimensional. You see here, you can put something inside.
Ooh, look at Kitty. Kitty is the quintessential vampire.
Just a little. No, sorry, some stuff came up, and then I was having technical difficulties because my webcam wasn't working, and my AirPods aren't connecting to my computer, so it's just one of those, like, not fun nights.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, you're here. That's good.
Yes, I am here now. Funny story, I got the date wrong, and I got my makeup all done last week, and then realized just when I finished that, oh shit, it's next week.
Oh no. Oh no.
You had a practice run.
Pretty much.
I need you to come over and
I
do
mean,
my
I think it
makeup.
came out good, so
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Bree needs some help with her makeup.
Yes, please.
I can't help you. I can help you with your hair.
Yeah, whenever it grows out, it's taking forever.
But don't ask me to help with makeup because this is just soap and water.
Yeah.
Hey,
I quit
cleaning
wearing
your
makeup
face is
several years
important.
ago too.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Kitty?
No, I was saying cleaning your face is important. You know, cleanliness is important. Soap and water, not having too much dirt and oils. Actually, what I use to get my makeup off is this stuff. It's micellar water. It is like magic. If you've ever used a magic eraser on your tub to get like grime off, this is that, but for your face. It's amazing. Just soak a cotton pad in this, and like all of this just comes right off. It's great.
I've stopped
Hey,
dealing
Perp.
with makeup after the third kid because he went into my purse and destroyed it all as a toddler. And I said, I ain't got time for this. So I just gave up.
Yeah. That's why I use drugstore makeup because honestly, like, first of all, I'm cheap. I'm not gonna shell out, fucking $60 for a single like eyeshadow palette when I can spend that amount and get makeup to do my entire face, like from foundation, all that. Like Elf products, NYX products, like those are my like, main go-tos, and a few like CoverGirl or Rimmel. Like it
Wet
depends.
and Wild. Does Wet and Wild still exist?
Wet n Wild does still exist, and I actually do use some of those products too because they are cheap as hell. In fact, my favorite highlighter is actually from Wet n Wild. It's got the zodiac on top, and it's a loose powder highlighter. It is gorgeous and like super reflective. I love it.
Cool.
I might actually have it here.
Let's get back to Jen, and then Kitty, we'll get
Okay.
back to some of your things after we finish up with
Yeah, I'm so
Jen's.
sorry.
That's
All
okay,
right,
no
so
problem.
It's fine. Here's this little pumpkin thing. Now, when you buy it, it's just the plyboard, and it has this little pocket inside. So I'll take my vape so you can like hide your vape in there, right?
Oh, nice.
Or and I bought a bushel of the leaves, and I had glued them in on the bottom and the front. And again, I had a spool of this, which came from the dollar store, and cork. It's like probably 2 millimeters thick cork you can buy a sheet, and I just put it on the bottom so it won't. And you can
How do
hang
you
it up.
cut
You
the
can put it on
cork?
your desk.
Can you cut cork with just a pair of scissors, or do you need a box cutter or
No, I just cut with just a regular pair of scissors because it's so
pair
thin,
of scissors? Okay.
and it's not going to
Well,
crack because it's so thin.
one of the reasons I asked about how to cut it is I tend to be rather dangerous with things like that. A funny story: when I was in art class in 8th grade, our art teacher gave us all cardboard boxes and box cutters, and I don't remember what we were making, but he took one look at me holding my box cutter pointed toward my chest and cutting my box,
No.
and he said, I will cut all your boxes for you.
Oh no. It's so good.
Yeah, my mom wasn't allowed near the sharp objects drawer either.
Oh,
I had something very similar just happen while I was making the cooking videos. We have a box of kitchen matches that is at least 10 years old, and the part that you strike the match on doesn't work anymore. And so Robin said, why don't you just use the blowtorch? We have a kitchen blowtorch that we use for making creme brulee. So I held the candle and then turned on the blowtorch, didn't realize that the blowtorch flame was really long, went well past the candle and burned my hand.
oh no.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just have a burn on my hand.
Oh,
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm a klutz.
At least there wasn't like a curtain there or something. That could have been.
Yes.
or your hair.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only downfall of worrying a lot of hair is you got to be careful around an open flame,
Mhm.
Yes.
especially if you use products.
Yeah.
I
Burnt
caught my hair on fire once, and it wasn't my fault. We had a gas oven, and I opened the oven, and the flames shot out of the oven and caught my hair on fire.
Ouch.
I was able to put it out in just a second or two. I didn't even get burned. Except for
Well,
it
that's
singed
good
my
at
eyebrows.
least.
Yeah.
I burnt my hair blowing out a birthday cake where I didn't realize that your hair's down like this as you're blowing it out and it singes the bottom. And just this much of a singed piece of hair stinks up your whole house.
Oh, like just a tiny bit. It is
Yeah.
awful. There's nothing worse than the smell of burning hair. I mean, I suppose maybe the smell of like a burning whole person would be
I can imagine.
worse, but
Yeah.
like you got bigger
Depends on-
issues to worry about than the
depends on how
smell if that's happening.
Depends on
So
how you're cooking them, though. You know.
Yeah. They've been marinated properly, you know. Oh, look,
I mean, we
I'm sorry, I've
atheist babies. We've got recipes to swap.
Here.
We'll have to do a potluck or something.
So I have two funny things to show you, and then the two little centerpiece things I made.
Okay.
So I made my husband this for our wedding anniversary because I thought it was cute, and he just keeps it on his desk. And it's just a treasure chest, but I made Davy Jones' locker.
Oh,
Aw,
nice.
I
Nice.
love it.
And
Did
Lone
you?
Wanderer has arrived. Hello, Lone Wanderer.
Hello, Lone Wanderer.
Welcome.
Did you paint that on the
Yeah,
top? Hand
yeah,
painted it.
yeah,
That's really good. You did a good job
yeah.
on that. He
I
looks
just,
creepy and cute and
yeah, right? And then the
right.
heart inside. I wanted to get a little jar with a little dirt and put it in there from like pirates, you know. But I got a jar of dirt. And
A
then I
little,
made this.
a little
I made
key
this
in
as a
that would have been cute too for the Davy Jones thing.
yes, the key. Yes.
Yeah.
So my husband is a teacher, and he, you can't say F bombs at work. So I made him his own F bomb.
Mm.
So there's an airplane, and then it's dropping the F bomb.
Oh, I love that so much.
This office.
Hmm.
Oh. I did something similar like that. I painted the orca from Jaws. It's on my bathroom door. So I painted it like an and then I had the three guys like Hooper, Quint, and Brody hanging off of it.
Yeah.
But Hooper's in the cage under the water, and Brody's on the ship doing the chum, and Quint is bitten in half and he's dead.
That's like
That's
you
out
have
of
a nice
order.
sense of
Wait.
humor, that dark, morbid sense of humor. Like spooky season and Halloween, I don't believe it is a season. I think it is a state of mind. It is something that you internalize that is part of your being. I get excited for this time of year every year. It's my favorite.
Well, because we just redid our bathroom, and I got to choose the theme, so I went with Jaws.
That's awesome. I live in Florida. We moved down here when I was a kid, so we used to go to Universal Studios all the time. I knew the entire spiel of the Jaws ride, and I wanted to like work at Universal just to work on that ride. I was so sad when they got rid of it. Jaws and King Kong. I was actually one of the last people to go on King Kong before they shut it down for good, and like it made me so sad.
Yeah, they heard they shut it down to make part of Hogwarts, right?
And then Back to the Future became the Simpsons ride, which is stupid. Back to the Future was way better. And King Kong ended up becoming E.T. Which, I mean, okay, cool. The E.T. ride is fun, but
Anyway.
King Kong. Like,
Yeah.
you
King
think
Kong
of the restaurant of all of the old school movie monsters with like Frankenstein and the Wolfman, and Dracula, near and dear to my
Oh, you missed my Frankenstein, Kitty. Did you see my Frankenstein?
No, but Alice Cooper, I'll feed your Frankenstein.
There we go.
That is awesome.
And like I
You're
said,
very crafty. I approve.
plywood from the Dollar Tree.
It's been hanging outside for a week and still looks sharp.
Yeah, it's been hanging on my front porch, and we've had rain. Let me tell you.
It's crazy warm here. It doesn't feel like it's the start of October or that October's about to start.
It's almost take the air conditioners out of the window season. Almost. We're that close.
Climate change is going to ruin that one.
We seriously wait until the first frost, because if the first frost doesn't happen, then we have a 90-degree day in the middle of October. We can also have a blizzard in the middle of October. So that's Buffalo for you. All right, so the last two things I made, everything is from the dollar store. So this, I made a centerpiece. Could be Thanksgiving, could be Christmas, could be the whole fall through the New Year season. All right, it's hard to get my camera. There we go. So this is just a dollar vase. Okay. This is a dollar burlap ribbon on it they have. This is just a from their flower department, little cotton, little cattail. It came just like that. I just shoved it on there, right? And then they had these like decorative.
The foam
It's like a styrofoam.
with the pine cones in there too.
Yes,
Okay.
and the pine cones, and they're the cinnamon ones. They smell so
Oh,
good.
I love those. And the cinnamon
Yes.
brooms, like, oh, that
I always
screams
wonder why they didn't
balls.
make any pumpkin spice ones instead of cinnamon all the time. Pumpkin spice
then
broom would be.
Right? So then I put lights down in there, and the heat from the light makes the cinnamon pop more the more you leave it on. So it's like effervescent. So that's going to be like my centerpiece for like probably Christmas, fall, Thanksgiving, who knows? Who knows? So there's that. That one I'm keeping. I already gave away 2 of them that I made. And then this one is for my son's girlfriend and her mother. The cat just came flying in here. Cookie!
You really did buy enough stuff to make dollar store trend.
I did! Seriously.
The dollar store is a gold mine for crafty people. I go there all the time to get stuff.
$dollar store. There's 3-pack of canvases. 3-pack for $1. And the twine from the dollar store. So then I made this jar from the dollar store. Letters. They're tin. And I've had the same 1-pack of letters, oh gosh, since May. Because I made I used them in May. So then they had a pack of these foam pumpkins, styrofoam. So I just hot glued them on, and let me tell you, never use a Dollar Tree's glue because it sucks. I use Gorilla Glue hot glue sticks, not sponsored.
Gorilla Glue hot glue sticks. I was going to say that is the best hot glue.
Yeah. And then inside here is the gold styrofoam balls, a few pine cones. I put a thing of lace, just, scrap of lace down in there. And I put a toilet paper roll, covered it in lace, and I put the battery pack for the lights inside it.
Oh, nice.
So you can't see the battery pack. And then it's just $1, and the lights are from the dollar store. I had the batteries at home. And that is going to sit on my girlfriend's. And this is the burlap ribbon from here that I trimmed. I just trimmed it, and I glued it under a pine cone and just curled it up because it has the wire in it. And that's...
I got a question about these. So when you're making these, do you ever end up with so much scraps from the previous one that you have to make something else with it?
Oh yeah. I go through my scraps very carefully. Like if I have this much burlap left, I'll be like, I'll probably keep it. If I have this much, I'm like, yeah, throw it away. You got to be picky and choosy with your scraps.
That's one of the reasons why I made the rainbow scarf for Junk Shop. Is I've got so much scrap yarn, but not enough to make a whole craft with any of it. And I looked at it, I said, I could make a pride flag with scraps from a bunch of different things because I don't have enough yellow to make a scarf for you and so on. And I did. I was able to make a pride flag just out of scraps.
Like that's so great. Cool. Like I sometimes am drowning in my scraps. In fact, I'm actually using up scraps of things making scrunchies because I have tons of fabric from the mask making and elastic. So this one's actually a scrunchie that's big enough to use as a headband. So I used to keep my hair out of the way while I was doing my makeup.
I love those.
But I love scrunchies, and I'm so glad they're making a comeback.
My little girl makes scrunchies too.
Did you see that the Dollar Tree has blanket panels, like the squares you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole bin of them, and they had a shark one. So I bought some, and I'm gonna make some stuff for my bathroom.
Ooh,
Nice. Nice.
And it's
that's
cheaper
great.
than the Walmart stuff.
Are you done, Jen?
I am done.
Okay,
guys-
very good. Very
Finish
good.
Awesome stuff.
Thank
Let's
you.
move on to Brain Bug and let's
Oh.
see what you have for us for
Oh.
Halloween for bugs.
Well, I didn't make anything, but I did bring some
Right.
things out. So the first thing I'm going to bring out is a Madagascar hissing cockroach. These are, as their name implies, native to Madagascar. They're not like the cockroaches that you get in your house. And if you hear that, that's actually. Oh, come on, do it again. He's not aggravating
Nightmare
anymore.
fuel.
It knows. It knows I'm safe. Look how big it is. So they are. They're not like the pest species. They live out in the rainforest. They eat. They live on the forest floor. Come out at night. And there you go. You gonna do it? I don't know if you all could hear the hiss or not.
I heard it.
coming through?
Oh, I
yeah.
most certainly can hear it.
So-
It's gonna haunt my dreams tonight. Thanks for that.
Oh,
Thank this.
so these when that's something they do as a defense when a predator or something grabs a hold of them is they force air across their spiracles because arthropods don't breathe through the same openings as they eat through. Their mouth is not it's not a breathing apparatus. They breathe through spiracles along the bottoms of their abdomen, which are little holes that go in a line down their body. Now they have little flaps that are in front of those that when they force air through them, when they contract and force air through them, it makes those flaps rattle and makes that hissing sound. And the hissing sound is very similar to the hissing sound made by a lot of reptiles. So the gimmick is to make them think that they're dealing with something bigger than they are.
Mm.
But they are still very, very large insects, as you can probably tell. All right. Next, I have what is called a Jerusalem cricket. It's not a cricket, and it's not from Jerusalem. It's a Stenopelmatus, and it is also pretty massive, a pretty massive insect. Now, these are native to North America. You can find these out in fields and things at night. They're like the cockroaches. They're detritivores.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get that ready and I accidentally got it on the screen as I was trying to prepare it.
All right. I don't know how well that's showing up on there anyway.
Where are these, like the Madagascar cockroach or
It's
whatever?
Madagascar. This is in North America. This is in there he goes. He's all right. These are in and you're probably in your backyard, maybe not this big of a species. They're more the larger species are native to
An inch maybe around here.
yeah. They'd be about that size. They're more robust than a regular cricket. And they're not actually they're closer related to the wetas from or the wetas from Australia or the bush crickets from Africa than they are to actual crickets. And bush crickets and wetas are they are all large bodied. Wetas are actually the largest insects in the world. I would imagine maybe you've seen the picture of the giant when in someone's hand holding a carrot and eating it. Yeah, those monsters are closer related to these guys than they are to
Where are these giant
crickets.
ones from?
Australia, New Zealand, the Oceania, the islands around Australia in the
Are
Pacific.
any of them named Jiminy?
Well, I can name this one Jiminy if you want. It doesn't have a name.
Okay.
Jiminy. This is Jiminy now.
Okay.
We're all on the same page. All right. The next thing I have for you, and I don't want to trigger anybody, so this is going to be a spider. Is everybody okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just gonna hide out over here for now.
It can't get me through the screen, so I'm good.
Yeah, she's pretty actually being pretty active tonight. She's usually a little slower than that. She's
And it's a tarantula.
yeah. This is a Phonopelma, was it a Phonopelma chocolates, the Arizona blonde tarantula. So these are
Okay.
these are native to North America, native to the deserts from deserts and scrubland from Texas to California. They're pretty prolific. They're pretty common. One of the most common species in North America. They're also the largest species of spider in North America. They are teddy bears, though. They're I can't. I've never held a more docile tarantula in my life than an Arizona blonde tarantula. They are, for all causes and purposes, like about as dangerous to you as a cat. So this little lady has been with me for almost 6 years.
And that's as
And
big as they get typically.
yeah, she still molts. She still grows, but she just grows a lot slower. She molts now. Probably she's older than that. Like when I got her, she was an adult, so she's probably closer to, I would say, at least 10 years old.
And how
Just
long
based
do
on
they
her
usually live?
size. How big can they get?
How
The
long?
large.
live?
I didn't
How
catch
long
that.
is the lifespan?
The lifespan. Oh, that's a cool thing about these big females too. They can live upwards of 25 years. There are some Brachypelma species that have been documented to live over 30 years. So as long as they have a stable food supply and they're in a safe location, they are happy and live a long time. I actually read a story on arachno boards some years ago about a guy who had a tarantula when he was growing up. His parents thought he took it to college with him, and he left it in his room. And they packed all his stuff up in his room and thought the aquarium was empty and put it in the attic. And the conversation never came up again. And then, like 5 years later, he was up in the attic looking through his stuff, and the tarantula was just fine in there. It was so they can go a long time without food and water, especially the desert species. That's how they thrive in a desert environment. But I'm going to go ahead and put her away because she's getting awful rambunctious, and I don't want her to run off my hand and fall. I got one more creepy crawly to show you guys, and then I have some. Oh, maybe she doesn't want to go back in there just yet.
Is it
Is it
true
a
that if you
centipede?
drop them from like a few feet, that like it can actually kill them?
This species definitely.
It's like they're really big and heavy, and they just kind of go
Yeah,
splat.
but there are tarantulas, avicularia. I have one back here behind Freddy Krueger. That it's a little baby, so it's not camera ready yet, but they're really docile and easy to handle too. And their avicularia actually is the word avicularia means bird spider, because they can jump from like 4 stories, and they have long hairs between their legs that help them glide. They're basically gliding spiders, similar to like what you'd see with a gliding frog or a gliding lizard. They do hold up themselves up pretty well. The avicularia is actually the one that there's about, I want to say 5 or 6 months ago, that kind of made a big splash on Twitter by the video of one eating a bird, and people made a big deal about it. But yeah. All right. The last thing that we're going to look at is a baby. Well, not really a baby, more like a teenager.
Is it a millipede?
Nope.
Okay. Is it a centipede? Oh, a scorpion. Okay.
Scorpion.
Yeah.
Right.
This is an emperor scorpion that will eventually get a lot bigger than this. But this one's still young and pretty small. It's not a baby anymore. It's a let's subadult, I guess would be the proper term for it. It's not quite old enough to start breeding yet. I do have plans to breed this one though. When it gets big enough, I'm going to first you want to sex it, which is determining what its what its sex is by looking at the vents underneath it. Real fun process that I'll probably do a video about when I actually get around to sexing it when it gets big enough.
Active like stinger thing.
Oh yeah, it's what it has to have to. Oh, calm down. Here you go. Okay, so that is an emperor scorpion. It's going to get a lot bigger as it matures. Go on in there. There you go. And the emperor scorpions, if you notice, they have here, and I'm going to use this forest scorpion because it's similar proportions, but you're going to see it better. See how big its claws are compared to the tail? So that is an indicator that it's probably not as, its venom is probably not as potent towards large animals as something with a smaller claws, because the big claws mean that it grabs a hold of its prey and just crushes it to death. So it doesn't need the stinger except for to ward off predators, and to ward off predators you don't need to be able to kill them, you just need to be able to sting them and make it hurt. So that's why it has a big claws and small stinger. Now if you see a scorpion with small claws and a big stinger, it's probably a good idea to stay away from it because it's killing its prey with its sting. So its sting is going to be more potent and even potentially deadly to us humans. Now, that's not to say that you should mess with any scorpion and get yourself stung. I do it risking myself because I want to educate people about these animals. But
you do it so we don't have to.
Right. But so any tarantula or scorpion can sting or bite you and potentially cause serious side effects because you could have allergies to the venom, you have just predisposition to envenomation. Same as with the bee. Now, when it comes to tarantulas, this was the biggest one I've ever kept. As you can see, it's about as she could have covered my face pretty well. She's massive. This was Penny, who just died about 4 months ago. So I'm preserving her. But she used to live in this tank right behind me here. She was about 6 years old. I'm still not sure what killed her because she's a long-lived species as well. And lastly, I have the old-fashioned staple of the brain bug show, and this little guy is going to sit with us for the rest of the conversation, and that is
the one that the Lone Wanderer asked for.
Yeah, that's the mantis. They're babies too, so this one's a little feisty right now. Come on. Oh, there she is. See it? Can you see her crawl on me?
Feminist icon.
She's
is it true about scorpions? The bigger they are, the less like toxic they are to humans. And
well, that's like what I was saying about their claws. The bigger their claws are.
If you find one like that big in your shoe, you should be like scared of it. Type of deal.
Not necessarily. The size of the overall size of the scorpion is not going to come into play as much as the size of its tail compared to the size of its and the tail is called a telson, but the size of that compared to its claws. Bigger telson and smaller claws, definitely stay away from it. And there's a lot of in between there too, so it's not a hard fast rule, but most scorpions are slow moving, pretty retired creatures that you can shoo away with a newspaper. They're not gonna come at you. They're, even compared to spiders, they're fairly slow moving, and they don't have any interest at all in us. They want to be far away from us. Other than the fact that we attract bugs, they don't really They don't really care, and we do attract bugs. Humans are terrible about attracting bugs.
So I've only ever seen like one kind of scorpion here, and I live in Central Florida, so Daytona Beach, Orlando area, um, and it's like small. They're small, like they're only about yay big, and they're almost like a translucent brownish color, and like they don't have really large claws or a really large tail. They're just kind of tiny in general,
I
and I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, this is probably Centuroids gracilis, which is just they call it the Florida bark scorpion, but or brown bark scorpion. They are venomous. They're close related to the Arizona bark scorpion, but they're like not anywhere near that level of toxicity. But I would still give them a wide berth
Wide
if you
berth.
see one. Yeah.
No worries
How
there.
far north do they go?
Do scorpions
Any
go?
any of the creatures you mentioned today? How far?
Um,
What's the most northern creature you've shown me today?
well, so the emperor scorpion is actually from Asia and Africa, so it lives pretty far south. The Arizona blonde tarantula moved probably up into Colorado. It's about as far north as you would find it. Mantises, we have mantises that all the way up into Canada. So especially Chinese mantises, they do really well. The Jerusalem cricket, yeah, that one, because I know that they have them in Idaho, so that one could probably be in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
I'm just looking out because I hate bugs.
yeah,
It's not okay. Let me rephrase that. I don't hate bugs. They scare the shit out of me.
Like
Which is
I
why
have
I
allergies
don't.
to
Yeah.
bugs. Like even mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will bite me through a like two layers of clothing, meaning
You
freaking
swell up.
leggings
You
and
swell your whole leg.
jeans, and I just swell up massively.
Yeah.
Same thing with bees or fire ants. I held my friend's emperor scorpion once. I was terrified because I was like, if this thing stings me, I'm gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. My daughter's allergic to mosquito bites. When she was a toddler, her whole like 3-year-old thigh, and it like was like this. I brought her to
Yeah,
the
it
pediatrician.
swells up. I get
He
welts. Like there's a
started around
picture.
it. Like he drew on her
I'd like
leg.
to, yeah,
And
I'd like to address Lone Wanderer's question because I've had this up for a while waiting. Lone Wanderer wants to know, is it true that mantises eat their partners?
if they can catch them, yes.
Ah,
Uh, there used to be this idea that the female always ate the male as part of the whole mating process, but that's been proven wrong. It's for the same kind of it's so they had them in captivity is why they would, because they would do all this research on mantises in the lab, and they would always see the female eat the male when they were finished. But when the female's finished, when she's impregnated and she's gravid, immediately she wants to look for some protein to help develop the developing eggs. So if he's hanging around after that, he's all he is protein to her after that.
Feminist icon. Lilith
that's
and praying
awesome.
mantises.
Ooh, and Black Widow.
That too.
Yeah. And that's the Black Widow is another one that will eat the male if he can't get away. That's another arthropod, but it's not all that uncommon for them to do that. Once the mating process is done, any spiders, any scorpions, they will attempt to eat their partner afterwards. Just the way that it is. That's one of the things about, and I've only dabbled in tarantula breeding in the past, but that's one of the struggles is to keep the female from eating the male. Even the adorable little jumping spiders that do the dances and attract the female, even she will eat him after she's finished with
Maybe
him.
she didn't like the dance.
Yeah. Yeah, she might just eat him without mating. So
But no, like I don't really care for spiders. I actually was, I mean, we don't really get brown recluse spiders in Florida as much. Occasionally you'll see them, but I don't believe they're actually native to this state. But we got a Christmas tree, and there happened to be one, and I'm glad it was me that got bit. But I actually got bit on my face, like right over by my ear, by a brown recluse spider in December of 2019.
Wow.
So going into 2020, I already had a shit show going on.
Oh wow.
I had to get a tetanus shot, and they gave me antibiotics because there's really
They
not
pack-
much they can do for it. Well, no, because it didn't get that bad. I went in immediately because I actually know two other people who've been bitten, and like that telltale like bright red ring around it, and like
Necrosis.
so I went in immediately, and it's healed up fine. You can't really tell, like there's a little still discoloration there in that area, but I kept it clean, and like that's the main thing is you get infection there, and that's what causes the biggest issue. Like I know someone who lost a limb, and my grandfather
Yeah.
actually technically lost his life to a brown recluse bite because he let it go, and when he finally went to the hospital, it had gotten necrotic. Gangrene had set in, and then the hospital let him sit there for 5 days and didn't even give him Tylenol for pain. No doctor saw him. Took over a week to get the death certificate signed because no doctor actually saw him while he was there. So that's the whole other thing.
Oh, goodness. Goodness.
Yeah, gotta love our medical system.
My
Oh,
sister got bit by a brown recluse on her thigh once, and she had to get it packed. And well, she's down in Texas. She's not a New Yorker anymore. She's a Texan.
Just write her off. Fuck
Yeah,
Texas.
So that
Well-
was the last of the bugs that you had for today, Brain Bug?
yeah, that's what I got for today.
Okay. Bree, I think you're going to really like this. Kitty, I was going to let you go next, but because this ties in so well with what Bree just said, and it also ties in perfectly with you as well, I'm going to go ahead and play my video on how to make vampire dentures. Cookies, vampire denture cookies. I'm not going to play the entire video because the whole thing is 20 minutes long, but I'm going to play the introduction, and then we made homemade cookies. I'm going to skip over that to where we're decorating the cookies. So here we go.
First, we of course have the lovely pumpkin that I put necklaces on because they look vaguely Halloween. A scorpion for brain bug, an owl for the vibes. I have mistaken this cow for a cat 5 times, and so it is now a cat. The big snake and the little snake, they're friends. And the witch bear, always essential for any Halloween cooking video. If you are making a Halloween cooking video and you don't have a witch bear, you're doing it wrong. And the snail has horns, so I thought it fit.
I thought you'd like that Robin happened to put a scorpion in our background just for you, and then
Aw.
you happened to bring a scorpion. Robin made that part, a couple of days ago.
I hope Robin enjoyed the scorpion when it was on the screen.
I'm sure Robin did. Okay, let's skip ahead. We made homemade chocolate chip cookies here. That's what I'm skipping over. And then toward the end, we're going to decorate the cookies. Okay, there. Oops, went a little bit. There we go. I'm making the frosting.
But we don't want to do that while we're trying to do video. And as you see, even without greasing my cookie sheet, yeah, there's some little bits on my cookie sheet. But so then I take
Can you hear that?
and we put a little bit of red.
It's a little quiet, but yeah, I can hear it.
Here.
Okay.
Drop your marshmallows on the floor, very important step.
Okay, so then the marshmallows go around the curved edge of the cookie.
So you take the cookies, you cut them in half,
And then around
you
it is
spread
put
red
in the
frosting on
slivered
half,
almonds.
and then you arrange some miniature marshmallows around on it, around the edges of it like that.
The back of what?
The cookie.
You
Because,
could.
like, I mean, there's that
you
berry
could.
in the back. So it's like, I mean, really, 2 slivered almonds for a cookie.
And there I'm putting some more vampire blood, which is our
Okay.
red
Sure, you
frosting
can
on
drop
the
two
top
slivered
half of the
almonds right
cookie.
there if you want.
And Robin's going to put some almonds on the cookie, which is going to be the fangs, but Robin wanted a little bit more almonds,
But I
so
was gonna
Robin's
say, if you
sticking some
want this a
almonds in the
couple
back of the
you can
cookie.
put them in before I put
Almonds
the
are
top
great.
on.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you can.
only fit so many in the back of it. An extra two. Okay. And then we put the top on. Whoops, I got some
away
frosting on
marshmallow.
that piece of.
Yeah, this vampire needs to brush his teeth. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
got a
good.
spot of
Yes,
red
that
frosting
looks
on the
exactly right.
marshmallow.
It's
I
bloody
wanted one
teeth.
more and do
Yep,
that.
bloody
I
teeth.
mean, we're not always
And
the
then a little
cleanest of
lighter,
eaters.
hopefully.
Yeah, it doesn't have a spot on the marshmallow. Can you hand this one?
I'm so gonna have to do this with my son. He'll go
Just
bananas
hanging
for
that
this.
one on the floor.
Yeah, these were amazingly easy to make,
Thanks.
and
Yeah.
as I mentioned in the
brought
full
a
video, which I'm
couple,
going to release on Friday,
almonds in the back.
we made
Oh,
homemade
sure.
cookies for these, but it's really better to buy a tube of
According to my
cookies
version of the recipe,
because then they're nice and flat.
I wish to protest
And
against only having two almonds.
these
but
were
okay. This is
these
how
were a
we
little
fight.
hard to work with because they were so dome shaped.
Okay, now put your two almonds that are going to show.
I need to put them on the top though. Did
Oh.
they on the top?
No, they're really on the bottom.
It's like shark teeth.
We really probably should have cut
Yeah,
the
but
slivered
sorry.
almonds just a tad shorter
doesn't
because
make much
sometimes they were
difference.
just a tad long.
There you go. Whoops.
And
Very nice.
there, you can see how they look when they're finished there.
Frosting.
Oops.
There you go.
Let's squish it.
Okay, and there we go. We have vampire.
Robin is amazing.
Yep. Okay. So those were the vampire cookies. Those were one of the 3 holiday treats that I
That's
made.
great.
Okay. So now, Kitty, what do you have for us?
Okay, so I actually technically only have one thing because I am out of red food coloring, so I wouldn't be able to demonstrate the blood recipe, but I can tell you how to make it. So I will start with that.
Okay.
So when I was doing special effects makeup, I did a little bit of effects makeup for some indie projects here because not only do we have Full Sail University, but also Valencia, and they both have film programs. And I've got a lot of friends that were really involved in that. So everything from zombies to ghosts, and it was a lot of fun and a great learning experience hanging out with them. But I came up with an edible blood recipe because like the cosmetic blood is disgusting. Like I don't know if you've ever done vampires where you have those little capsules that you bite into. It tastes awful. Like just god awful. Like worse than cough syrup. It's gross. So I did a little bit of like kitchen wizardry and I found that if you start with a base of honey, which gives you your viscosity, because you want the blood to kind of like stick, and red food coloring. Then, depending on whether you wanted it to be more like a venous blood or an arterial blood would be brighter in color, whereas venous blood is a bit darker. So you would add a little bit of Hershey's chocolate syrup if you wanted venous blood because it darkens it down a little bit, whereas just leaving it just blood, a blood red food coloring and honey, it's pretty much perfect as it is. Though depending on the red food coloring, you might want to add just a little chocolate syrup to tone it down a bit. But that's really all it takes. It's really good, like drizzled on cookies or ice cream. So it tastes great. And so whenever they had to do scenes of like spitting blood out of the mouth, they would use my mix that have like a little jars of it that we could use on set. And I also modified that recipe to a non-edible one where instead of using honey as the base, you actually use laundry detergent. And you would use the blue laundry detergent along with the red food coloring and maybe a little bit of uh, like vegetable glycerin or propylene glycol if you needed to like thin it out a little bit, and it tended to stain less. So if you knew you were going to need to do things in multiple takes but you're not going to get it all done in one day, being able to try to wash the clothes rather than having to essentially start over. And again, it depends on the food coloring you use. Some come out a little easier than others, but it already being mixed with a detergent means it's less likely to stick in the clothing when you go to wash it. So that actually worked out pretty well.
Thinking like
No, I mean, you wouldn't think, but you wanted to make sure that you weren't doing a precursor to the Tide Pod challenge. Never mix those two recipes up. One of them tastes great, the other one not so much. But I'm actually gonna be doing some like crafty videos. Like I've been doing a little bit more stuff on TikTok because I haven't been feeling well lately. Like I have chronic illness, so like sometimes I don't really have the energy to do a lot. And TikTok is great because it's really quick. I can kind of get little bite-sized chunks of things I'm working on when I've got the energy and get them out there. So I will be doing some TikToks and everything like that of different crafting things that I'll be doing for the upcoming spooky season and going into just fall in general up to Christmas and New Year's. I'll be doing lots of arts and crafts stuff, both with my son and alone. In fact, one of the things we did at the dollar store, they actually had these little my green screen. Okay, there we go. These little foam pumpkins, and they're $1 a piece. And the cool thing is they're hollow, so you can take an X-Acto knife and actually carve them out, and then carve the top off, and put a little tea light in there, so that you can basically have a reusable jack o' lantern.
Cool.
Apparently, my son left this one on, so it's dead. So I can't demonstrate, but you can get the idea. Like my son loves night lights and the sort, so we just we carved the top of the pumpkin, and it's got a green stem, so that's why it's turning black from the green screen. But yeah, so you got the little jack o' lantern, and like I said, we'll be doing other projects like that. I'm gonna do a little like table runner, like a quilted table runner with like a spooky tableau on it. And I'll be sharing a bunch of those, and I might even do a video, like an actual like YouTube video with the makeup look. Just kind
Mm.
of a general how I did this.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then also, I picked up my vampire fangs. I actually got new ones because the old ones were starting to wear out a little bit. And the cool thing about this kit is they give you this little black thing that you can store them in, but you also use it to mix up the dental epoxy because inside of here they give you a little stick, and then you get these little capsules. They're essentially filled with the powdered dental epoxy, and you open up the capsule and put it in the black thing to mix it up, and then you add a few drops of the curing agent. That it basically turns it from a powder into a gel essentially, and you just keep stirring it until it gets kind of nice and thick. um, and then you take the pointy end of your little stick here and use it to press it up on the insides of the fangs, because as you can see, like especially at the back of the tooth, you can see where the epoxy just kind of comes around and hugs your teeth. And by doing that, you trim off anything that shows on the front of the fang. But by doing that, it gives it a better fit so that you can pop it in and it wants to stay in place. But,
Cool.
talking or doing things like that, eventually, the epoxy might need to be kind of trimmed out and replaced with new. And honestly, I was like, it's about the same cost to get more epoxy as it is to just get a new set. So I'll just get a new set. I mean, it's under $20, either on Amazon or now that the Spirit stores are open, because there's the
Mhm.
Halloween store and Spirit, which, oh, I love it. And Michael's has their whole spooky section, and be still, my little black heart. Look at it with delight.
I'm not allowed to go to craft stores without my husband because he puts a limit on the spending. Otherwise, I would spend hundreds in one go.
Uh,
Give me
yeah.
a credit
So
card and glue gun, and I'm unstoppable.
I have a dream. If I ever win the lottery, I'm buying 1 or 200 acres of land. I'm going to build a few houses on it for my family members so that we're all close to each other, but not under the same roof because
Yeah, just
otherwise
survival
it's Fight
at the end
Club.
of the day.
It's
Yeah,
like, okay, so you are, 100 acres, 150 acres that way. Cool. I can see you whenever I want, but I don't have to see you every day. That'll work. But I also plan on having a large, almost like a warehouse that I'll build. That every year I will hire local like high school kids to dress up in costume and do a haunted house, and I'll have like a hay ride. I'll
cool.
grow a corn maze every year. I'll change up the design. Like I will go all out with the um, with the decorations because again, Halloween is my favorite. Have face painting. It'll literally be a fall festival slash Halloween
Cool.
spooktacular every year. And
We
if
have one
so,
of
I will
those
totally
near.
invite you, Jen.
Cool.
The best haunted house I ever went through was put on by a bunch of Christian college students. And what they did that made it so really creepy, they took two tables and pushed them close together with about, 6 inches apart, and then threw a tablecloth over both of them so it looked like it was one table and cut a hole in the center of it. And a guy sat on the table with his leg through the hole so that you could see his leg to the knee. And then they went to a butcher and they got a bunch of scraps and they put that in front of his knee and shaped it generally like a leg. And they had a guy standing there with a meat cleaver hacking away at these meat scraps. And it looked like he was hacking this guy's leg.
Wow. Have you been to one of
I'd
those
worry about E.
houses?
coli, but yeah, that sounds really intense.
My sister's old church up here before she became a Texan. They did one of those hell houses that it's supposed to put the fear of hell in you, and you come out. You know what I'm talking about? I've experienced that at like 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Because I'm the baby, she's the oldest. All right, so there's
Well,
like
this
15.
was just a Halloween fun thing. I mean, there wasn't anything spiritual about this at all. They were just, putting on a haunted house for Halloween.
I was always the tag along little sister. Oh, oh, because her and her husband at the time, they've since divorced, but her and her then husband were in charge of the youth group with another couple. They had a pretty substantially sized youth group. I want to say like 20 kids, which is good, for a medium sized church. And they did put on a hell house, but I wasn't in it. I was just my sister's guest for the day, and I was probably 10 or 11, and I was like, "Oh, take Jenny with you. Take Jenny. Take her with you." So, never again. Never again.
So for the Hell House thing, was it like a haunted house style, or was there?
But it had a storyline, and it was like, oh, Johnny died in a car crash. He's going to hell because he didn't accept Jesus, type of
Hmm.
deal.
Did
Yeah,
they have an abortion section?
yeah, and then they, I'm pretty sure they gave out Chick Tracts when you exit. I mean, that's kind of,
Oh, well.
oh my gosh, was it? It wasn't it wasn't this year or the year before, so it was like 2019 before lockdown, before the panini. Okay, um, we have a peach festival up here in a township over, and it's like they have a carnival and they have a parade, and it's put on by the Kiwanis Club, so it's like the long weekend, usually like Labor Day weekendish. All right, and it's huge. It's the biggest community parade in this area besides the Christmas parade. Okay, so my husband is in charge of the high school marching band, and uh, he was he had our kids there, and the convertible car in front of him was owned by a church, and they were handing out. You know how some cars throw candy, you know.
Hmm.
They were handing out DVDs frickin' Ray Comfort.
Oh,
Fucking Banana Man DVDs. My husband texted me a picture of the event, and I was like, "You had to be freaking kidding me! You had to be freaking kidding me!" And he's not like he's an atheist like me, but he's not like online about it. He's not. He doesn't like fight the good fight, you know. He just knows what I tell him, and he goes, "Freaking Banana Man, isn't it?" I said, "Yes, it is." And then that Halloween, my middle daughter was taking her and her boyfriend were taking out his little siblings, all right, around to their neighborhood. And they get back to the house, and out dumps the candy. Freaking Ray Comfort DVD. They throwing them out at the parade. They were giving them out as trick or treats. So
Like, that's worse than getting the crappy candy or a toothbrush. Like, honest, at least the toothbrush is useful.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then
No, give me the razor blade candy. I'll eat around it. I'd rather that.
she goes, "Mom, it's the freaking Banana Man." At the time, she was probably about 20, right? She was probably about 20 at the time, because her and my youngest both have October birthdays. So they're going to be
Lucky.
23 and 20 in about 2 weeks.
somebody needs to
And-
release a DVD set of the stuff from the cutting room floor of Ray Comfort, because I don't imagine he comes out on top of the majority of his interactions.
If you put together the cutting room floor of Ray Comfort, you get something that says the opposite of the DVD he put out.
Right.
It would be Ray Discomfort.
Though, actually, going to the razor blade thing that I said, that's actually like where that whole someone's gonna tamper with the kids' candy comes from.
the
It's actually
66,
really
yeah.
tragic.
Yeah.
Because it never actually happened,
Yeah.
except for one instance of a father who basically poisoned his own child and a neighbor's kid. And like that started the whole panic. Because I think it was arsenic he put in the pixie sticks.
Yep.
And
big
so people have
ones,
been panicked about that ever since. But every year people will say, "Oh, be careful, double check the kids' candy."
Let's
But
rate your
honestly,
candy at the hospital for free.
yeah, no, and like it's they might put edibles in there, and like if they do, I'm taking them. Like,
Right. There was a,
honestly, those things are expensive.
Those are
Nobody's gonna waste those
expensive.
on kids,
Kidding me?
who the heck's
Weed's
giving out
expensive.
edibles? I'm gonna go to that house.
right?
I
But
will let
that's
you
the thing.
double
It's like
back and go get
so
some
much
for mommy.
fear. There's so much fear mongering around it when the only real documented case of the Candyman is literally a psychopath who wanted to kill his own kid
For
for
the
the
insurance
insurance
money.
money.
He took out like
Yeah,
what,
it
two
was greed.
life insurance cases on
It
him,
was
like
just
the month
unadulterated,
before.
disgusting greed, and people still panic about it to this day.
He wanted to
And-
kill his daughter too. He wanted to kill his son and his daughter. And he only got one.
So, on that note, would you like to learn how to make monster tacos?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Okay, here we go. Monster tacos. We are making monster tacos. This is actually a very easy recipe, and these are vegetarian tacos. Then a full oven, it uses a lot less energy. Oops. In my toaster oven. The toaster oven will heat your taco shells much more efficiently than a full oven. It uses a lot less energy, but they will also burn very easily. So for my particular toaster oven, I heat them at 200 degrees for 2 minutes. That's all it takes. All you want to do is crisp them up, get them a little bit warm. You are not trying to cook them. If they turned brown, they were in too long. Second, I have some cheese here. I have 2 different kinds of grated cheese. I have cheddar and I have a bit of mozzarella. A lot of people like Monterey Jack. You can use whatever cheese tickles your fancy.
I bought the wrong kind of cheese.
I also have some chopped tomatoes, some sliced olives. These olives over here are sliced just slightly larger to use for decoration on the top, but we happen to absolutely love black olives, so I cut up a few more to go inside the taco as well.
and here we have some chopped cilantro, and here we have some chopped romaine lettuce. The romaine lettuce there,
I skipped over a little bit. That bowl back here is that's refried beans, and I use that as the base of the taco. If you prefer a meat taco, use the meat instead of the refried beans.
is a little
Why
bit
not
lighter
both?
in color because this
Or
was
both.
toward the end
Yep.
of the head, which is in the center of the romaine. I would not recommend buying iceberg lettuce for any
Okay, I'm going to
any
skip
purpose.
over this little lesson I gave on how to buy lettuce.
That's just good
Iceberg lettuce
advice, though.
garbage. Romaine is better.
It, yeah, iceberg lettuce has no nutritional gain.
That's what I mentioned in there. Yep.
Maybe a green leaf lettuce. But you're always better off with a lettuce that is darker in color as opposed to lighter in color because you're getting more nutritional value. And then finally, I have some refried beans. This is just a can of refried beans that's been heated up in the microwave. And we, of course, have some sour cream. I am making vegetarian tacos. You are certainly
guess I
welcome to
didn't miss
make
that part.
whatever kind of tacos you want. Put whatever toppings in your tacos that you like. If you want a meat filling in your taco, then start with your meat filling. I'm going to use refried beans as the base of my taco as opposed to a meat filling.
Also, first we must mention the green bear has gotten up from background character to foreground character because he is too cute to ignore. Just be background. So he is here forever now.
Okay, so first I put a little bit of beans in my taco. This is a rather large shell, so I can get quite a bit of filling in it. Now here's one thing that I think that Taco Bell and a lot of people who fill tacos get absolutely wrong. I absolutely love melted cheese. So I always take my cheese and put it directly on top of my hot substance so that my cheese will at least melt somewhat. And then put the cold ingredients on top of that. Never put a cold ingredient on top of the hot ingredient and then the cheese, because then the cheese won't melt. But if you don't care for melted cheese, obviously you put it in a different order. The order you put it on from there really doesn't matter, with the exception of our one decorative ingredient, which is our olives.
Actually, you really do need the
And
lettuce
sour
to be
cream.
right underneath the olives.
So we're going to put in some lettuce and a bit of cilantro.
Heavy on the cilantro.
I love
And then we're going to let Robin do our little dabs of sour cream.
Oh no. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Shoo. This is good. This isn't gonna be a perfect circle. That's fine. It's creepier that way. Does this look like a circle from above? Not sure.
You can look at it from there.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then we put our olives on for our little eyes. And we have monster tacos. And that's it. That's all there is to it.
Ooh, a dab of
I'm going
salsa
to make
for a
another
mouth.
one.
Oh, yeah, we did see one where they took a large piece of tomato and made a tongue. And I thought about doing that. I'm skipping ahead to where we've got all the tacos on the plate. It looks kind of cool with all the tacos on the plate.
Sour cream.
And yeah,
want
the tongue did look
So
kind
this
of
one
cool,
won't
but
really
I
be a
didn't want to
monster
try to
taco,
slice
it'll be
the
more like
tomatoes
just
that precisely to make a
regular
tongue shape.
taco. You could also put onions in here if you want to, but raw onions can be a bit overpowering. So if you do put in onions, I would recommend that you chop
I
them.
sped this part up a bit.
It's spooky because the eyes
Coming
are
over for
very
taco
small.
night, Gigi.
Yep. Oops, we lost Jen. There we go. And there you go.
And there you have it, monster
And you can see the.
tacos.
All right, let me see if I can
Thank
remove
you
that.
for-
There we go.
I love that so much. It's great. I'm gonna
Did
have
you
to
see
do
what I
that with my
posted?
son.
In the chat,
What did you say?
did you see what I posted in the chat about cilantro?
Oh, now you want tacos. I just see
I'm
now.
the only
Oh, here we
person
go.
in my house that likes
Oh.
cilantro.
Uh-huh.
Everyone else tastes soap.
Interesting.
Actually,
interesting.
I believe it's about 10% of the population. Cilantro will taste of soap for them, or just gross in general.
Yeah, that's like
Um,
the rest of my house. 3 people.
I'm so sorry, because cilantro lime rice is a
love cilantro.
godsend.
Yeah, I like it.
I do not like cilantro.
Does it taste like soap to you too?
I don't know if I'd call it like soap. It's not a good taste.
Bitter.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
how I am with olives. Olives are one of the only things that physically make me gag. Like if there's a hidden olive on something and I chew on it, I go, ugh, ugh. It's
Even
like,
black
I
olive?
love olives. Black
Yeah.
olives are good. Green are good. My favorite are Kalamata olives, though. Those are the best olives. Like that is peak olive because it's a little salty, a little tangy.
You ever take the pit out and put a little bit of cheese inside there of a Kalamata olive?
Oh yeah, I've had stuffed Kalamata olives where you put like a little bit of feta or a little blue cheese in
Feta, yeah.
there.
Got
I'm allergic to blue cheese.
Aw.
That's sad.
That's another acquired taste. I didn't like blue cheese when I was a child, but now I really like it.
I get hell for it.
Same here.
I get
Blue
hell
cheese is
for
the
it.
only thing I put on my buffalo wings.
That's like it's blue cheese or go home, and I'm like I'm allergic to it. I'm sorry.
Creamy garlic, Jen. They
I
have creamy garlic is a really good dipping sauce for wings if you don't have blue cheese.
Like a buttermilk ranch.
I like buttermilk ranch for wings.
Yeah.
Honey mustard.
Or like me, I just get
I don't like honey mustard.
I get medium with no. I don't dip. I dip my celery in when I'm done.
Yeah, like wings, celery, and blue cheese. Like, and I am a happy girl.
Mm.
I like my wings just with, the wing and the hot sauce, and that's it.
I usually go with mild or medium wings because I like spicy, but I think that when you get too spicy, you lose all flavor. It just
Yes.
tastes of burning at that point. And while I can do it, I'd much rather have a more flavorful, milder sauce than something that's just going to burn my tongue off.
Mhm.
Because capsaicin's a bitch.
That depends if I took my stomach medication or not, how spicy I want.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sour from the Anchor Bar, which is like the home of the buffalo wing. So
Yeah.
I'm from the home of Friendlies and Dunkin' Donuts.
oh,
I'm
You're from
originally from Massachusetts. Yeah, I was born in Worcester. Worcester,
you're
Mass.
Worcester. Oh my God, you're from Worcester.
From Worcester.
Oh my God,
Did you grow up with that accent?
I'm from Rhode Island.
Hey, you know what? Northeastern New England neighbors.
Are you going to see? Are you going to Fenway to see the Red Sox?
Now I'm gonna go to the Cape.
Did you pack your car and Harvard Yard after that?
Pack the cat and Harvard Yard. Go to the party.
Yeah.
Can't tell
All
if
right.
you got to take a leak or if you're going to get drunk and hang out with friends.
That's my mom. My mom talks like that.
The Bubbler, Jimmy's.
I thought Bubbler was exclusive to Milwaukee.
And
And New England.
Okay.
Bubbler is New England as well.
you going to get a cabinet?
Cabinet.
Did you go?
Take the tea.
Have you ever gone to what's it called? Oh my gosh, I forget. The Creamery. Have you ever gone to the Creamery and gotten an awful?
Oh. Yes. Chocolate Jimmies are the best Jimmies. I don't like rainbow Jimmies.
They're not sprinkles, people. They're Jimmies.
They're Jimmies.
Okay, and with that, let's go ahead and start wrapping up. And if there's anything else anybody wants to add, go ahead and then go ahead and shill for whatever you have going on. And if you don't have anything you want to shill for yourself, please feel free to shill for someone else. And let's go ahead and start with Bree. Bree, any last thoughts and what do you have coming up?
Oh, yeah. Well, so October is I'm doing aliens on my show. I do Cryptid Corner where I talk about something some video of UFOs or Bigfoot or something. I look at it and I debunk a lot of them. But so I enjoy doing that, and I will be doing aliens this month. And and then my shows are on Saturday morning at 9:30 Central Standard Time. Saturday morning.
Okay, very good. Jen.
Oh, I had a question for Bree. Did you ever do Ogopogo? Because I did Ogopogo before on my channel.
Ogopogo? No, I haven't yet. There's lots of stuff to cover.
Check out my video. Pogo Pogo. Anyway,
Oh,
What about
well,
the
I'll have to check
Mothman?
it out.
That's on brand for you, Brie.
either. Yeah, I did a few cryptids in my alphabet series. Anyway, I do have
I
an
actually
alphabet.
have something that's in the back burner right now, but with Thomas Westbrook, Holy Kool-Aid about Mothman. So, yeah, we'll see what the fruits that bears.
Cool. Now that October's coming, I'm going to start Patron Saint Season 2.
Okay.
And that's about it, unless I come across another video that I'm going to give commentary on or do a response to, which I recently did to somebody else. My last video was a response video. But that's about it. Check out my playlists. They're cool.
Okay, very good. And you got the dollar store trending.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, us crafty bitches, we love the dollar store.
That's
Yep.
right.
I mean, come on. Where else can you make something like this for $1?
That is fabulous.
Well, it costs $3. $3 it cost me.
Yeah.
Check.
Negligible. No, I know my
Okay.
son is my son because we went to the dollar store and they had all the Halloween decorations out, and he immediately went to a little skull. We named it Bob because the Dresden Files, I mean, had to.
Oh,
And
of course.
so, like, he's all about, like, spooky stuff, skeletons and other, like, spooky things. It's great. And he's definitely my offspring.
Okay, Kitty, is there anything you'd like to shill for?
Okay, so like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing some TikToks and things of crafty things between now and the end of the year, and I will post about those on Twitter whenever the new ones release. I might get something on YouTube, but I'm not sure. That's a much bigger time investment. But Matt, Almost Doctor, has a video coming out soon that Randolph Richardson and I actually contributed to. So definitely check that out. I'm super excited for it. Like I had a lot of fun doing my small part to it, and I think he said he's going to do it in 2 parts, and the first part should be coming this weekend, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it was. Oh, and I found the Wet and Wild highlighter. It
Oh,
has
very
all the
good.
constellations for the zodiac, and it is super sparkly. So yeah, but
Okay.
like that is like really reflective, and I love it. And this thing was only a couple of bucks.
Okay, very good. And what I have coming up, as I mentioned, I am going to be releasing all of the cooking videos that I made for this stream. Now, I showed you just a small part of the vampire dentures video. The entire video shows you how to make chocolate chip cookies and gives you a few tips on making cookies, making homemade cookies. There's a shout out in there to Brainbug, as you did hear, and there's also a shout out in there to Junk Shop Library. And then the full monster taco video is in there. And there's a third one that I did not show tonight, and that is pumpkin deviled eggs. So make sure you check out all 3 of those. And then next Wednesday, I will not be doing a stream because I am doing a very special stream on October 9th on Saturday. Because I have somebody coming from the UK, and this is an ungodly hour for people in the UK. David Worley is coming, and we are going to be talking about elevating the conversation and using logic and being skeptical. How to raise the conversation by using logic and using your skepticism in a way that is polite and is reasonable and actually gets somewhere in a conversation, that you're not just kind of arguing around in circles. So I think that's going to be a really great stream. I was really pleased to be able to get him to come on, and he has a new book coming out soon. He has a book on logic, and he's got another one coming out soon too as well. And Kitty, nice nails.
I hear Scooby Doo music when you put those up.
No, I totally forgot. Like I looked down at my nails and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm already getting a head start on spooky season with my cemetery nails.
Okay. With that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Kitty. It has been great having a crafting night with the ladies. And so everyone can now get ready for Halloween and live your life.